Jeremy here, Jeeps Unlimited Parts Breakers, 303-666-9020, partsbreakers.com. Going to be listing a 1997 to 2002 4-cylinder frame chassis, grade A, nice clean, scoped inside and out, or inside. Outside, you can see here for yourself as if you're standing next to me. That's why we do these videos. And I've been doing these for 18 years and been selling almost every single one of them, I should say almost. They always sell, so. Frames are getting hard to find, especially nice, clean, rust-free ones. One thing that's really cool, I always like to point out on our frames, we don't doctor them anyway other than cleaning them. When I say cleaning, we clean them with water and a little heat. We don't spray paint them, clean them up anyway like that at all. We used to sandblast them, but it just wasn't worth the extra cost for customers, so we stopped doing that. What else? So it is a 4-cylinder frame. If you wanted to use it on a 6-cylinder, you'd have to move the mounts. And it is an early frame, 9702. If you wanted to use it on 03 to 06, just call me, because I usually have a 2.4 or 4-cylinder frame for one of those. These are the years that are a little harder to get. So, but what I was going to go with that is the paint that you're seeing here, all this black paint. This is all original from whatever year, 97, 98, whatever year this came out. And this is in 98. So, yeah, you can tell by the mounts for the body. These guys here kind of give it away how early it is. So, all right, so I'll flip it over here in just a second. Just wanted to show you everything on it. I'm not pointing out much because there's usually only point out the bad on them, and there's really nothing that I see bad on. Coil pockets or buckets are perfect. Back subframe great, straight, nice, clean there. These areas, these like to rust, break off. You see a little bit of browning, that's a little oxidized metal, but there's absolutely no surface loss there at all, no surface rust, no scaling. All the mounts are nice and clean, all the holes are perfect, so it's just not kind of pointless to go through everything that's good. Usually people don't point out the bad, and that's usually what I do point out if there is something bad. So, okay, and we did true it, meaning that we throw it on, we do two ways. First we measure it, because that'll give it away right away, and then we still throw it on a straight jig we built for these that sets right in them. Just allows us to tell if it's ever been hit. Sometimes a Jeep that hasn't been wrecked when we buy them, because we don't buy any wrecked Jeeps, we buy them all for the most part running under their own power. You just can't tell if, at some point in that Jeep's life has been hit. So, okay, let me flip her over here. Chris, I'll probably get your hand for this guy. Yes, I normally do this on my own, but they're, my old age is catching up to me today. Did this enough the other day. Let's flip her all the way so they can really see, or at least down a ways. You can hold it up, and we don't have to. Yeah, if you want to just hold it right there, that's probably fine. The top isn't. The bottom's usually what really goes, but this is an area here. You'll always see a lot of Midwest, East Coast Jeeps. They'll rot out in these back horns that go up over the axle, and it's hard to say why that happens. There is no clean out on the bottom here, so people will drill these to help that mitigate that. I think it just kind of traps there at that corner. This is your side clean out. You got a couple areas for tow hooks if you want, but you can see the coil buckets on the top, and even this guy here, nice and clean all the way down. Okay. Let's see, I think that's about it. If you happen to be in the market for a 4-cylinder, this would be a good option for you. I have 2 or 3 of these right now, which is kind of rare, these 9702s, but well, you know what? We are going to have to put it down because I still got to take photos of it. So, on the top side. I usually start the other way because then we stack them upside down. They stack better that way. Dude, it's so much easier sometimes by yourself, even though it's hard. Let's get it over here. Yeah, this is so now you get a better bird's eye view of it here. Okay, and I'll get some photos of it here in a minute, of this side. And then we do have, if you need a 9702 6-cylinder, those have always been hard to get, and they're always on back order. We've had 4 or 5 literally deposits down waiting for those at any given point. But I just got one in, and I'm going to list it here in a minute. So if you don't need a 6-cylinder, don't buy it because they're hard to get, like I said. But if you do, and don't want to move the motor mounts, you can always buy this frame. And these motor mounts sit back. I'm going to show you here in a second because this is kind of nice to know if you are in the market, we don't happen to have a 6-cylinder one, and I tell you, you can move these mounts up. Okay, you cut these off, literally, right here. Okay, your control arm mount does not get moved. That's these guys, your upper control arms. All right, and then you have your, this is for your intermediate shaft. Let's go look at a 6-cylinder real quick, and I'll show you the difference on those so you can see exactly where you cut and what you move. And they get moved up further. That's how I can always tell a 6-cylinder frame, because it's sitting not on top of the coil buckets, but pretty close. And you'll notice right away the intermediate shaft, or yeah, your intermediate steering shaft is behind it. Control arms are behind it, the mounts for your uppers, and then these guys are up here. Okay, and they are slightly different shaped, and they're just a slightly different offset. So for your 6-cylinder frame versus your 4-cylinder, they're up further, and then the offset between the passenger and the driver is moved up a little ways, where the passengers kind of come back. And if you look at this guy one more time here, and I've already made plenty of videos on this before, but it's kind of good to do a refresher. They're offset, but not by much. These 4-cylinder frames are almost identically mounted. This one's up just a hair. Okay, so questions, comments, concerns, let us know. You will be moving that bracket and replacing. You basically be switching mounts on it. That's part of the reason your intermediate shaft is slightly different size for a 4-cylinder on a TJ. But the mounts for your control arms do not move. All right, thanks a lot. I think that's it on this guy. If any questions, comments, concerns, 303-666-9020. We are open Monday through Thursday, 9 to 4. We are by appointment only Friday through Sunday, and we do hot shot deliveries. Right now, it's our busy time of year we're getting into, so there'll be weekly runs to the East Coast. That will go on. Actually, right now it's paused. It's every 2 weeks until we get through the holidays, and then it resumes until about March. They'll go to bi-weekly, and then summer's once a month. So if you're wanting something out, don't want to wait on it. I know there's some new options out there. Just got to wait some time on them. Unfortunately, the new options are what they are. They're not necessarily a factory frame, but I'm not going to say they're bad either. So if you want a nice, clean factory build you're doing, this would be the frame to go with, or a frame like it. But if you don't care, you're building a crawler or something, then the other options out there are definitely there for a reason. So, and we'll go from there. Thanks a lot.